Did you see that Donald Trump is the first president to have a mugshot?
We were literally running away trying not to get beat up by her.
My math teacher, I remember in 7th grade, got arrested.
I don't know if he called me the N-word, actually.
What's up, Jelly Beans? Welcome back to another episode of Jelly.
Hi.
How are you, Elias?
Am I in frame?
You're in frame.
Should I scoot more?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I've been in my little reading era. My academia era.
What have you been reading?
So I just finished reading this very popular book talk book called A Little Life. It was trending like maybe 2 years ago or something, and I finally got around to finishing it. Girl,
what?
This book, let me tell you. Also, if you guys don't want spoilers or like, this is also a trigger warning because this book has a lot of, let's just say, triggering material.
I'm scared.
So skip like 5 minutes ahead if you don't want to hear that. But anyway, so this book is like over 800 pages long, first of all. So it's massive. And, you know, the writing, the prose is very good. Like, it's very flowery.
So you like it?
I like the way it's written. But when I finished the book, I was like, damn, this was just torture porn. Like, it was...
Like, it's really graphic?
So, let me tell you a little bit about it. So, the main character is basically this super traumatized orphan who gets sent to, like, the church to get raised by priests. Mm-hmm. And priests and children don't get along very well. Ooh. Let's just say that. And so he deals with that. And then in his adulthood, he's like also very, very traumatized from that experience. And essentially he ran away with one of his priests that he thought was kind to him. Uh-huh. But then that priest just pimped him out as a like 7-year-old. Basically.
My God.
Yeah.
Girl.
And so he's like very, very traumatized from that. And in his adulthood, he also suffers from some kind of like leg problems. So he can't walk properly. Oh. And he finally lets himself date another guy. And the guy basically like does not like that he's a cripple or that he's disabled. And he like physically abuses him and calls him like slurs about being disabled and just publicly humiliates him. So he's traumatized from that again. Uh-huh. And then he finally gets in a loving relationship with his best friend who like kind of became queer for him, it was like, that was a beautiful scene when they like revealed that. Mm-hmm. And they have like a couple of really good years together. Mm-hmm. And so his boyfriend was like, wow, life is a miracle. Every day you wake up is amazing because I'm dating like the love of my life who is so traumatized. So we're so lucky to be alive every day. And then he dies in a car crash. Ooh. I'm like, why would you write things like this and completely just destroy that and leave no hope for the world and be completely pessimistic and leave the readers with literally nothing new to learn about the world or like hope about the future?
So is that the end of the book?
The end of the book, the end of the book was even sadder because the main character is now dealing with the death of his boyfriend. Uh-huh. And he never recovers from that, and he unalives himself. Ooh. Yeah. And the whole book is about him like trying to, you know, persevere from his trauma. But then the lesson of the book is basically like sometimes it's better to just give up.
Well, I guess that begs the question of like, is it okay to write something or to make art that's so pessimistic and so negative and like so out of bounds of what normal people would like?
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Did I cry? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It was, I mean, the emotional impact, she did it, you know? But at what cost? Because I didn't learn anything new from the book. Mm-hmm. I just actually disliked it more because it didn't make me appreciate living more. Because she was basically saying it's okay to unalive yourself.
I mean, is that what she's saying? Maybe she's
No, it really is.
It is.
Basically.
Well,
because she has this in her book. One of her theses is called the axiom of equality. Mm-hmm. It's taken from a math term where it's essentially saying X equals X at all times, and so X is the main character, and the main character is a traumatized person, and therefore he will always be a traumatized person. And so regardless of how hard he tries to become a better person and to move on from his trauma, he will always be that traumatized person. And so that's why he unalives himself. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. And a lot of critics for the book say it's torture porn, and I kind of agree, because it doesn't leave the readers with any optimism or any hope or any lesson.
But does a book have to leave readers with optimism or a lesson?
I mean, if that's the type of book that you like, maybe not. But in terms of media that I enjoy, is something that I can leave away with it to reflect on the real world.
Well, I think that is a reflection of the real world. There's people who live like that and who have lives like that.
True, but real life is already so hard. Like, I don't need that in a piece of entertainment.
Well, I think that's fair, but I don't think that every artist who creates has to abide by those rules.
I agree. But I'm saying that's why I would never recommend this book to anyone. Mm-hmm. Although the style of writing is very beautiful. I will give props to you, Mama. But I can't, in good conscience, recommend it to anyone, because especially people who are suffering from mental illness.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So that's my little critique on A Little Life.
You know what I did watch?
What did you watch?
Love, Victor. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Well, girl, I fully only watched it for the guy.
Oh, for the Hispanic guy?
Yes.
Oh, he's fine, yeah.
So sexy.
I've only seen Love, Simon.
Girl, Love, Simon. Girl, Love, the Victor is so much hotter than Simon.
I mean,
like, Simon's not even cute.
He's just giving white bread.
Fully, and that's the only reason people think he's cute. Because he's white.
Let's talk about
let's talk that.
But there's another thing that you've seen recently, right? Finally.
Yes, so I've finally seen Barbie after like 3 weeks of it being out.
Congrats.
Very late to the party.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Right.
I really liked it, but I've heard a lot of mixed opinions. I've heard people call it pathetic. I've heard people say that it's not diverse enough, that it doesn't have enough intersectionality. And this is from all women, by the way. A lot of women that I've talked to have not liked it.
Interesting.
So, but I liked it personally.
I liked it.
I thought that there were some really cringy moments.
For sure. For sure.
But I think the good outweighed the bad.
Yeah. To me, it was just... to sum it up, it was a good time.
I agree.
Like, it's very fun, colorful, bright, cunty.
Did you see Trixie and Katya talking about it?
I did not.
Trixie was like complaining about the musical number when like the Ken Enough.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
But like, did you like that?
I did. I think it fit the movie.
Did you like it when they turned into like Grease and they were like started dancing like that?
Yeah, I liked it because it was just like a musical number.
I loved it, and I hate musicals.
Right,
but I also watched it high.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that probably enhanced my willingness to listen to a musical and like just for the whole movie, I feel.
Yeah.
But they were like, okay, I love America Ferrera. I think she's a great actor. Mm-hmm. I was not here for her character.
She was very giving scripted. She was giving very preachy.
Yeah, it was yeah, no.
Okay, my only part that I didn't like about the movie, and this is very specific to me as like a personal like bias, but I thought Simu Liu was so cringy.
Ooh.
Like, I could not stand any scene he was in.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. Like, okay, Simu just reminds me a lot of a personal friend.
People don't like him.
Okay, it's because he responds to everything online about him. He must have Google alerts turned on about him.
Not that.
Because literally the most random obscure TikToker is going to talk about him and he'll respond. He might respond to our video. So at this point. So,
I liked him. So if you see this, Simu, I liked you.
Well, Simu, I liked you.
It's Asian against
convenience.
It's Asian hey.
Period. Yeah. And I'm proud.
Let's stop Asian hey.
Right. I forgot what I was talking about though.
Barbie. Well, we can move on.
Well, my train of thought has exploded, so.
Don't worry.
What are we talking about today?
So we have some current events.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've heard about this, but Mercury is now in retrograde.
Girl.
Do you know what that means?
Yes, I do, but you explain it.
So, Mercury is, in astrology, the planet of communication. And retrograde means that it's going backwards, essentially. Yeah. Because of some planetary shit. I don't know. I guess some astrophysicist had to explain it to you. Sure. But, so pretty much what that means in astrology is that communication is going to be very muddled for these few weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's true 100% because
you shouldn't make big life changes during this time.
You should not. And it's been hitting me hard.
Really?
It's been hitting me very hard. I've been having miscommunications with, like, everybody in my fucking life. Like, we even had a miscommunication yesterday.
Oh, right.
And I had a miscommunication with my mom and my boyfriend and random people and people online. So...
Right. What's her first name?
Who's?
Miscommunication.
Oh, right. Per.
Yeah, Mercury in retrograde, I remember this time last year was, like, it was so bad.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was, like, probably one of the worst times in my life.
Anna, you?
And I knew it. As soon as I saw what was coming up during the time of Mercury in retrograde, I was like, something's bad's gonna happen. And it was really bad. So... if you guys are, just look at your calendar in advance.
Right.
And if there are big things happening during this time period in Mercury retrograde, maybe, like...
cancel them.
Okay, I wouldn't go as far as cancel them, but scale back.
Right.
Don't go all the way out there. Don't full send it.
And if your life is shitty as fuck right now, just know that that's the reason why.
Right.
It's not you.
And you know
it's
what?
The universe.
If you don't believe in astrology, then props to you.
Then Mercury is about to humble you, bitch. Then it is your fault.
Well, maybe it's a blessing for people that don't believe in it.
Right, because it's really the power of manifestation. Whatever you believe in will affect you.
Yeah, 100%. So let me become an unbeliever for real.
Not that.
Well, period. What else do we have to talk about? Did you see that Donald Trump is the first president to have a mugshot?
Yes, girl, I did see that.
Girl, he looks scary in that picture.
His mugshot is so fucking ugly. And also, apparently, when they were, like, weighing him in, he self-reported his weight and his height. To, like, make things easier, make things go quicker.
Not that. He said 45 pounds.
Fully. And I think he said that he was, like, 6 foot or something.
He is pretty tall, though.
But I'm like, girl.
But he looking like a whole gourd.
But this is why I'm like, people want him to rerun, and they want, like, the Republican convention to, like...
Did you see what happened in the Republican convention?
I fully did not, because I don't watch that.
I watched a little bit of it, and one of the highlights was the not narrator, the moderator was asking a question and was like, if Trump is indicted or whatever, would you guys still support him as the running lead for the Republicans? And each one of them raised their hands. They would. And even Mike Pence was like one of the last ones to raise his hand, and he still was like, okay, I guess. Yeah.
So, they just want to win.
So we're supporting.
They just want to win.
We're supporting criminals as our president now.
Well, it's not where.
So.
It's them. They are.
Right.
Well.
What do you think about that?
I honestly am shocked that they would say that, because that's like your number. Like, as a person who's there at the debate, that's your competitor. So, like,
I mean, let's be so real. Trump doesn't even have competition right now.
He doesn't,
unless he gets legally disqualified, which
I hope
he should be.
But then I'm scared for if that happens, because then who will they nominate? Like Ron DeSantis? I don't want him.
Girl, Vivek.
Girl, the Indian.
Yes.
Okay.
He was they were clowning him because he was basically reciting line by line what Obama said in his presidential like debate.
Really?
And I forgot who it was, but they clowned him for using that, and all he could do was just smile and nod.
Oh, well, love that for him.
Right.
Like, I heard that actually Republicans don't even like him because he's Hindu.
No, that's okay. That's like that's just being racist.
Well, are you expecting anything different?
I mean, fully.
Like, let's hug that tea, girl.
Right.
But it's very interesting how a lot of Asians are skewing right, I think.
I don't necessarily think that is surprising, because I think a lot of, at least immigrant Asians.
Well, not even only Asians. It's, I think, POC too, because I know a lot of Latinos that are also skewing right now too.
Girl, it's because Biden administration. I don't want to get too political on this episode.
Let's really not.
But let's just leave it at the Biden administration has been quite disappointing.
Right.
And I think because of that, a lot of people have been like turned away from that.
I know that some people might not like this, but I think that Gen Z, whether you're right or whether you're left, I think a lot of us are done with Biden, and we're done with like neoliberalism.
I really think there's a shift in the era, and it's exciting because I feel like people, especially Gen Z, now that we're all getting older, we can actually think more critically.
Well, you know what it is? It's the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
It's coming upon us. We are now entering a new astrological age for like all of us.
Didn't we do that already in 2020? Didn't that happen?
I actually don't know when the age of Aquarius started, so let's look that up.
Also, for all of you actual astrologers, we
right.
really don't know that much.
Like, if you're an actual astrologer, please comment and
definitely.
let us know the real tea.
Or, you know what? We'll have you on this episode, or we'll have you on a future episode.
Right.
Or we'll retroactively add you on this episode.
Right, we on time travel.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I think astrology is very interesting, but I don't have the time to get into it.
Google says the age of Aquarius is going to be in 2160.
Girl, so we fully dead.
But we are ushering in the change of it. Like, we're going to be the people.
In
ages, yeah, they're long.
Damn, okay.
They're like for entire generations.
I remember when people first brought that up about the age of Aquarius, I was like, okay, period. That means we're in our new Renaissance era, our Beyonce Renaissance era.
Well, we are going to be setting up the foundations for that Renaissance.
Yeah.
We may not be able to see the fruit of our labor, but we're going to be the people who are changing the world.
Yeah.
For the futures to come.
I mean, even right now, we can see how much potential technology has.
1 trillion%.
And, you know, I don't want to get into too much of a tangent of it, but I absolutely think the next, movement in technology is going to be space travel, the implementation of AR and VR in everyday practice.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see how.
And AI.
Yeah, fully.
And virtual worlds. Like, we've talked about this already, but I fully believe it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for VR. I hope that comes in our lifetime.
I think it will. I think it really will. But girl, I've been getting this pimples out of nowhere. It's probably stress from you.
Not from me.
But, you know, speaking of pimples, it reminds me of a time in the past. Many years ago. During middle school. Yeah. Do you remember anything about middle school?
You know, I have what's called youth amnesia. So everything that happened
call it short-term memory loss.
Everything that happened pre-2020.
Long-term memory loss.
I have long-term memory loss for everything that happened pre-college.
Right.
Sometimes even in college, actually.
And sometimes it's like the week of.
Fully.
So.
Because, you know, I just have to block out what's cringy.
We will literally have full-on conversations about something, even on episodes of Jelly, and he'll be like, we talked about that? And he'll be convinced that I'm gaslighting him. Yeah. Convinced.
Yeah.
So.
That's another topic.
But, girl, my middle school was so rundown.
Why?
It's a very old school. Mm-hmm. And actually, it is one of 2 schools that were segregated during the Civil War, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. My school was the black school. And
the
other school was the white school.
I didn't know that.
And our school has been historically just less funded, and
Ooh.
Well, maybe not now, but because of
probably still now.
Low-key.
Let's be real.
And so it was very, very rundown. Girl, we had millipedes all the time.
Not millipedes.
Just in the hallways. Yeah, it was not a great...
Millipedes are scary as fuck.
Girl, they're disgusting.
I hate them.
They're disgusting. But your middle school was different because it was new.
Yeah, so my middle school... So, okay, I was supposed to go to the sister school of yours. The one that was the white school. Mm-hmm. That was the one that I was supposed to go to.
The sister school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Girl. But so I didn't actually go to that school because my mom was like, I'm not having you go to that school.
The white school, right?
But she thought that one was trashy too.
Well,
and so she was like, you're not going to that school. And then she did a lottery to put me into the new school.
Oh, you had to do a lottery?
Yeah.
Damn. When is that deep?
Well, it was because it was a new thing that they were starting out doing.
Right.
For our year. Like, we were the first people that they did this for.
But I'm gagging because it's not even like a charter school or like...
Well, it's because so many parents were mad at being forced to go to those shitty ass schools that they like literally petitioned our county, and our county was like, fine, we're gonna try a trial where you can sign up to potentially be able to go to this nicer school. However, you're not gonna get busing, and you're gonna have to just drive your kids to school.
Cold ass bitch.
Right, literally. And so, but then what's funny is that they changed that. After
really?
1 year, they gave us busing.
I mean...
So I'm like, period. But so I went to this new school. It wasn't all the way new, but it was much nicer than your school.
Fully.
Everyone there was rich. Everyone there... Like, I walked into school. I was the only one without an iPhone. It was just a very different vibe than, I think, your middle school experience.
The only time I've ever stepped inside of there was when I was in high school and I was tutoring middle schoolers.
Oh. Yeah. What'd you think?
Very bougie, girl. It was multiple floors.
Yes, it's multiple floors.
And our was just one floor.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was just one floor.
I've never been inside your middle school.
Really?
No.
It's like big, spread out, but it's just one floor.
Wow. Yeah, ours was 3 floors. Because each grade was separated by a floor.
Well, good for you guys.
Literally. But yeah, no, it was very crazy time, very weird time. I definitely peaked.
You peaked in middle school?
Yes.
I see that for you.
Like, I don't know. I was just really living my best life. Like, in middle school, the grades don't even really matter.
Oh.
Like, so you could just fuck around.
Were they doing ABCs back then, or was it like 1, 2, 3, 4?
In middle school?
Yeah.
Or you were doing, like, algebra.
So they were still grading by ABC?
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
No, my school did 1, 2, 3, 4, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember what we did.
Because Common Core.
Okay, for people who are past Common Core or are too old to remember what Common Core is, Common Core started our year, actually. Where instead of teaching, like, we're going to teach algebra, we're going to teach trigonometry, we're going to teach geometry. Common Core is like an amalgamation of a bunch of stuff to make it quote unquote easier to learn, but it's really not really. Like,
well, also what it was to make this curriculum more standardized across states, so that if a kid moved from one state to another, then he would be learning about the same thing.
Right. Versus
some schools just doing completely whatever the fuck they want.
But the way they taught, especially math, I remember it was whack as hell. I mean, they were basically, let's just say like 1 + 1. Like, it should be very straightforward, but they would be like, 1 is actually 1/2 plus 1/2 plus a fourth plus a fourth plus a fourth plus a fourth. Like, why would you have to do that? Like, why are you going such a roundabout way of doing that?
Girl, I don't even remember like that for real.
Girl, speaking of math, my math teacher, I remember in 7th grade, got arrested.
Ooh? Why?
You know, now that I'm remembering, I actually think it was because her son was in the hospital and he was having some health issues, and then she like hit the doctor, I think. So, you know, as an adult, I kind of understand that situation, but when we were kids, we were all like making fun of her mugshot, and we were like sitting at the one computer in class,
Not
and
that.
like all taking turns looking at her mugshot and making fun of her. Like, kids are so awful.
Right, fully.
But I remember,
and middle school's the worst.
Yes, girl, middle school, the kids are demons.
Literally, actually demons.
But instead of our regular math teacher, that's why I didn't learn anything that year, girl. We had these like,
she was locked up for the whole year.
Literally, it was months.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know if she was locked up for months, but she was definitely gone for months. She was probably having to deal with like HR stuff.
I'm gagged.
Right. But instead of her teaching, we had these substitute teachers that everyone in our school knew because they were like regulars,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a family of them.
A family? Like they were actually related?
Yes, they were all related.
The fuck?
And we called them vampires because they had like maybe like a Russian accent, but we thought they were like from Transylvania. They were like, we will teach you math today.
Really?
Yeah, and they all had hunchbacks, and they were all old, and they had like matted hair, and they were like looking like witches.
Some babushka vibes.
Literally. I'm not joking. And we were all kind of scared of them, but also like kind of intrigued at the same time. Like, what is their story? Like one of them looked like the witch from Brave.
The red-haired princess.
Girl, no. The witch. The old witch in the forest.
Oh, okay.
Girl, you think they look like a princess? I just said they look like a vampire.
No, but I had to remember who Brave was for a second.
Well, did you have any interesting teacher experiences?
I have to be honest, like I'm trying to remember teacher experiences that I had, and quite frankly, I just didn't ever give a fuck about the teachers.
Oh?
All the teachers hated me because I was a bad kid. Like, I was the kid who would talk back to teachers. I would just be a menace. But I was never trying to be, like, a class clown or anything. It's just, I would always sit in the class, mind my own business, do my own work. Mm-hmm. And then teachers would still come for me because they knew that because they would just try to start shit. And they would and they would try to push my buttons and go too far. Mm-hmm. And I would put them in their place, and I would check them, and they didn't like that. I remember one time, I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but some substitute teacher said something to me, and then I said something back, and she was
they were like, do your work.
Not even. Like, she was trying to come for me. And she was like, I said something back to her that was slick, and then she said to me, do you speak to your mother that way? And then I said, girl, I speak to my mother worse. So if you think that I'm not going to come for you, you got it quietly mistaken.
Right.
And she sent me out of the class, and I didn't give a fuck. Like, I didn't ever give a fuck I wasn't scared of any teacher. I wasn't scared of any admin. I was literally coming for them. All the admin hated me too. I was in the admin's office like every month. Honestly.
I would have hated you too.
Probably, but I wouldn't have given a fuck about you.
Well, I would have been like that teacher in my high school that chokeholded you.
Not that.
Literally.
Not that.
Right.
But so, were you bullied in school?
I was. I definitely was. I had my fair share. But you know, I guess it turns out well.
Right. So she's a pro bully.
Right.
Okay.
No, but I was bullied for a multitude of reasons. First of all, I was very chubby in middle school.
Aww.
I was made fun of for being Asian. I was made fun of for being a nerd.
Aww.
But yeah.
So it's changed.
The skinny part?
Right, she's a skinny legend now.
Right. But what about you? Did you get bullied?
Well, contrary to popular belief, yes, I did get bullied, actually.
As you should.
Like, okay, it was always the straight boys who were trying to bully me because I was out in middle school. Mm-hmm. I know that's maybe crazy, and I was kind of like a pioneer in a way.
Not this conversation again.
But I was out in middle school, and literally all the straight boys would come for me. And they would, like, try and make fun of me, and they would just try and be...
And I'm team them.
Like, I don't even know what the fuck they would do. Like...
I remember on the DL.
Some of them were.
So
I don't know if I should even say this.
Say it.
But there was there was this one guy who would always like crack jokes like about me, and I never gave a fuck about him because I was like, boy, you're so stupid. Mm-hmm. And then I remember one time, I was in the bathroom, and I was like at a urinal, and then he's very tall. He came up behind me in the urinal,
not that,
and then he like literally grabbed my waist. I'm not kidding.
Mid piss?
Yes.
Oh
well, no,
God.
I was done at that point, but like,
he wanted a taste.
Girl, literally, he wanted a taste. I was like, what is going on? And then I look up at him, and then I'm like, can I help you? And then I literally just push him and leave. Like, but yes, that happened. So some of them really were DL, girl. Like, let's really clock that T.
I think I have bathroom anxiety because of like that age of kids in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because if you take a shit in the stalls, people will peek over.
Ew.
Like, kids think that's funny. Like, they'll be like, what?
Or under.
Right.
Like, girl.
I'm like, girl. Like, first of all, that's disgusting.
And then they'll record you.
Not record. Well, when I was in middle school, we didn't have phones.
Oh? Girl, my middle school couldn't relate.
Well, because you went to the bougie one.
Fully.
Well, okay. At least I didn't have a phone until, like, a smartphone until 8th grade.
Wow, really?
You did?
Yes.
Okay, so she's more privileged than me.
Funny, but so I had a phone in 7th grade, but it was like a little Motorola. It was a Motorola Android.
Oh.
But it was touchscreen, and I had all my music on there, and I would listen to it on the bus ride every day.
I had an iPod Touch.
See, I didn't have an iPod, so you're more privileged.
Not that. They were all hand-me-downs, so...
Well, I didn't even get the hand-me-down, because I'm the first one.
Exactly. But speaking of kids bullying, I remember on the school bus, there was this kid named Love. And let's just say he was not very loving.
He wasn't spreading love?
Mm-mm. And I would just be minding my own goddamn business, you know, sitting on the bus and waiting to get home. And he'd be like, why are you sleeping? And I'd be like, what do you mean I'm not sleeping? And then he was like, well, your eyes look like they're always closed. Oh. And I'm like, okay, so first of all, he's Indian, so he's also Asian. Ooh. And I'm like, not the Asian against Asian crime.
Right.
And then he'll like throw pieces of paper at me, thinking that I didn't know where it came from, but I'm like, there's only one person on this bus that's obsessed with me. So maybe he was trying to give me some love.
Not
you know. But I remember that very distinctly, and I just, you know, I didn't pay him any mind, but he was really obsessed with me. Let's just say that.
I'm team love.
Well, how about you?
Because I'm spreading love. What, like
on those? Do you have any school bus experiences?
So 6th grade, I didn't ride the school bus because we didn't even have a school bus.
Right.
So I only started riding it in 7th grade, and my school bus was the school bus that had the least amount of kids out of all of our all the routes, because it was just the kids who did that lottery. So literally I would look at the other kids' buses and they would be packed to the brim, like fully packed. And then our bus was not that packed. I was like living my best life.
Good for you, girl.
But
the bus is traumatic.
It fully was traumatic, but
it was not the magic school bus. Let's just say that.
But so I think, okay, so like I would sit in the front for the first half of the ride, then people would start getting off. Then me and my friends, because it was just us pretty much, we would all just go to the back and we would just kiki and like have a good time. I'm trying to remember specific people from my bus. I will say, I don't know if I should even say his name, but there was this one boy who was in 8th grade, but I think he was like held back because he was older than all of us, like by a little bit. And so his name was Dakota. And he was this white boy who very like wannabe edgy, like
emo?
No, like he was trying to be like fucking iDubbbz type humor. Oh. Like that was the time period for that too. Sure. And he would like say the N-word, and he
was white?
Yes. And he would like say that he was gay and like make a bunch of gay jokes, and it was just very weird.
Okay, diva.
Like, but like it wasn't like for real. Like it was just like, I don't even know how to explain it.
No, I get it.
And I can't even think of like anything that he actually did. I just remembered him right now, and I'm like, huh. There was another gay boy on our bus who was also in 8th grade, and I thought we had solidarity because I was like another, like the only other gay boy on the bus.
But it's actually gay on gay crime.
Literally, he always sat in the front and always just like listened to his music and never said anything to anyone. And then I remember one time he must have been having a bad day or something. He was lashing out, getting mad. I think like we were talking too loud, and he was like, "Can you just shut the fuck up?" And I was like, "It's not that deep." Like,
He was having an episode.
Down. Literally, girl. I was like, let's calm it down. And then he was like, don't tell me what the fuck to do. And then I was like, and then he said another comment to me. He like said something past that. He was like, I don't know if he called me fat or if he called me something.
He called you fat?
I don't know if he called me the N-word, actually. Now that I'm remembering.
Wait, was this person white?
Yes, girl.
Not all the white kids at your school saying the N-word.
Fully. I mean, like, what you gonna do when they're rich and white, live only around white people? And girl, it was like 2013, 2014.
You're right.
Like
that was when the N-word was crazy with white people.
Fully. And so he was like, I think he did actually, because I don't think I would have ever came for him if he didn't, because I didn't ever have any animosity towards him. He was a random person on the bus, and so he came for me. And then I was like, he had a bunch of acne on his face, like a lot, like to the point where you would need Accutane. And I was like,
looking like the surface of the moon.
Like the moon looked clearer than him, girl. And I remember I said, I know you're not talking to me, pepperoni face. And I gagged him, girl. And everyone on the bus was like, ah.
Girl, period.
And I was not feeling bad, not feeling ashamed about it at all. Because I was like, you came for me when we're supposed to have solidarity. But apparently we don't. But then he never came for me ever again. So I really clocked him, girl. Oh. And he was older than me. I put him in his place.
Girl, that reminds me of this one kid. I think we both knew him. He was this Asian kid. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, girl.
That rhymes with...
There's not much you can rhyme it with.
Rhymes with poo. Last name.
Oh,
poo.
I thought you were talking about someone else.
Oh, no. I'm talking about...
Okay.
Let's call him Matt Poo.
Matt Poo, okay.
Yeah. So this Asian kid named Matt Poo, he was like, first of all, he was short and he was like kind of chubby. Whatever. But he was trying to come for other people for being skinny. So I had this friend. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to listen, so I'll just say his name. His friend was Nenfoot.
Oh.
And Matt Poo was like, non-fat. Because it sounded like Nenfoot.
Oh.
And bless his heart because he didn't say nothing back. And I've had it at that point because he was on my nerves. Uh-huh. And I was like, at least he is non-fat. Like, you can't say the same.
I'm yelling. What did he say?
I gagged him, girl. He was speechless.
Right, well.
So...
See, that's the thing. Like, sometimes people will pick on the person who they think won't say anything. And
exactly.
they most of the time don't. But then they will shocked when someone else says
they
something.
Dish it out, but they can't take it
back.
And
fully can't take it. Because, girl, let's just say Matt Poo was very insecure.
To put it lightly. Exactly.
Like...
But did you have any good friends in middle school? Because we keep giving the bullies the attention, but... I think we should give some time for our friends.
Yeah, I had friends, obviously. So
that's not obvious.
Girl, well, actually... Okay, so should we give the rundown, or should we wait to give the rundown?
Just give the rundown.
Okay, so... In 6th grade, I had a friend group of all straight Asian guys.
Basically, he stole my 5th grade friend group.
Literally.
Which was very interesting.
So we didn't know this until we met each other, but his friends in 5th grade all then went to my school.
Exactly.
And then became my friends in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. Like, not like all of them verbatim, but like... Basically. And so, like, yeah. So I was hanging around with like these like 5-6 straight guys, and like those were my only friends pretty much. And like I would just go to classes and I would have no friends other than them. I would hang out with them at lunch, and then I would go home, and it would just be like I was pretty much a loner essentially.
So were you the only non-Asian in the group?
Yes.
I'm dead. You were the token other.
There was like one white boy I think.
Oh.
But that was it.
But that just shows you how small the world is.
Yeah, literally. And so we were like all nerds, I guess, and we all like had nicknames for each other. And so like there would be like one of them was like the human calculator, and then
Not that.
Girl, literally it was so cringy.
Not that.
Let's just say this wasn't my idea.
Speaking of nerdom, do you remember this was during the time when Homestuck was popular and Undertale and people being obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's and people drawing like Sonic art? Not Sonic. Sonic art.
What is that?
Yeah, honey. That is the Sonic like parody version.
I've never heard of that.
Like the purposely badly misdrawn version.
Oh, so there's a name for that?
Yes, girl. This was the peak time of those kind of memes. And iFunny.
Oh, iFunny, fully.
iFunny, girl.
Fully. Yeah, I remember being like disgusted at people like that because I was like, I'm a nerd, not a geek. There's a difference.
Not that.
Literally, girl.
But I play with you, but I said the same thing.
Ooh!
I said this. I was like, I'm a nerd, not a geek.
Not that.
Like, I fully said that, and I was proud of it.
As you should
I
be.
said it with my full heart.
As you should be.
Because I was like, girl, I'm nerdy, but I'm not that nerdy.
Right, fully.
Like, I like my games, and I like my anime. But girl, Homestuck?
Like,
That's taking it a little too far.
like I didn't even know what that was, girl.
Low-key, people that were into, like, the drawing, like, Sonic and drawing Five Nights at Freddy's character, that was kind of the pre-symptoms of becoming a furry.
Ooh! You're right.
And I know at least 2 people that are now furries. Clock that tea, honey. While you were hanging out with your Asian friends, I was off making my own friends. And in 6th grade, I had this friend named... I'm going to call him Arvin.
Okay.
And, girl, let's just say he was very flamboyant.
Very.
And very...
Even in 6th grade?
In 6th grade. He straightened his hair every day, so it was, like, straight down.
Oh.
It was giving, like, in my head, like, that vibe. And then he wore, like, a long trench coat every day. And he sounded also very gay. But apparently, he was the only one that didn't know.
Ooh.
So, on top of that, he was also very, very, very dramatic. There was one time, like, he started drama with me for no reason.
What did he
No
say?
reason. I literally don't even remember why he was fighting with me. But we were beefing, apparently. And we were in gym class, and we had, like, a dance lesson or whatever. There was, like, a dance curriculum in gym class. And we, like, normally we would just be partners. And then he was, like, not trying to be my partner. And I was like, okay, girl, let me just find somebody else. Like, it's not that
right.
deep. But he was just, like, trying to start beef with me and trying to gatekeep me from my own other friends.
The fuck?
Like, he was giving jealous that I was hanging out with other people.
Girl.
And then at the end of 6th grade, he was like, I'm so sad because I'm going to be moving away to your school.
Billy.
He was like, I'm moving to your school. Are you sad? And I was like, so sad.
You were
so sad, darling.
Well, for...
Like, I was giving you acting.
As you should be.
But inside I was like, thank Lord. Girl,
right.
Thank Lord. And after that, I could actually hang out with my other real friends.
As you should.
Right, but... Oh, he called me Tasty.
Girl, what?
That was his nickname for me. He called me Tasty.
The fuck?
And you'll never guess what the reason was.
I don't know what the reason was.
He called me Tasty because apparently Asian food is tasty. And therefore...
Girl...
My name is Tasty. But then somebody else clocked him because they called him Curry.
Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So...
Well, girl... He wanted to taste.
Right. But speaking of gym class...
Oh, God.
Fond memories from there.
Girl, gym class was actually traumatic for me. Like, I don't know what you were doing in gym class, but when I was in gym class, I would fully be under the bleachers. Like...
Not under the bleachers?
Like, fully, I would just pretend like I wasn't there. Or if I was forced... Okay, so this was the worst. When they were like, boys on this side, girls on this side.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember every time I would just try and be with the girls. And sometimes they would be like, okay, just go.
They let you?
Yes, girl.
They said this homosexual is so evidently gay.
Really. But then other times they would be like, no, you have to go over. And then everybody's so depressed. And I would just be like over there. I would literally, okay, so like if we were playing volleyball, and I would literally just stand. I would not do anything. Mm-hmm. And then they would be like, you're not going to get your points for today if you don't do anything. So I would do like this. And I would not move my feet at all. I would literally just stand there. Because I was over it. And then, like, in the mile run, girl, I would fully walk it. Like,
So were you, like, the worst one in class?
like, no, because there are people worse than me, girl.
Oh, that's good. That's what I always look for. As long as I'm not the worst, I feel okay.
Right. Well, I didn't even care if I was the worst.
Wow.
I really didn't give a fuck.
Did you have any, like, team sports activities where like, there's a team captain, they have to pick groups?
Thankfully, no. Not that I can
Really?
remember. No.
Okay, I remember that. Like, especially, like, football teams and softball
That's
teams.
disgusting.
Girl.
You guys played, like, real team sports?
Yes.
Oh, hell
Was that
no.
not a part of your curriculum?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, you're lucky, I guess.
Fully.
But, yeah, they always pick, like, the most athletic kids to be team captains.
Literally.
And, obviously, I didn't look very athletic because I was chubby. And I was always going to be second or last pick.
Oh.
I know. But, yeah, that was very triggering because I knew every time that happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to just be with whoever wants me last. I'm the scraps. But the real tea was I wasn't even the worst. So
Really?
I really wasn't because I could still run. Like, I could still run. So at the bare minimum.
So you tried?
Not really. But, like, if I got the ball, like, you know, I was going to run.
That's cute.
So
I was so apathetic in middle school. Like, I just thought I was too cool for school. I was, like, not even trying. I remember, though, I think one time we actually did something where, like, they had to pick people. And I think I was second to last.
Oh.
Because I think it was all guys. And they did not want to fuck with me.
That makes sense.
But, like, I could not care. Like, I really didn't give a fuck.
Did you ever get sent to the principal's office?
So I never got sent to the principal's office, but I did have many meetings with the vice principal.
Really?
Yes, because the vice
For
principal
attitude?
lived in my neighborhood.
Not that.
He
So
lived in
was
my
your-
neighborhood.
So
and
he was your neighbor?
He was my neighbor. He knew my parents.
Not that.
And he would be like, if you're misbehaving, I'm going to tell your parents. And I would be like, okay, girl. I would be like trying to test him, see if he's bluffing. He never did, thankfully.
I mean, that's a lot of work for him.
Fully, girl.
So.
But yeah, I was also in the admin's office 24/7.
I've only been to the admin's office one time, and that gagged me. Because it wasn't even my fault. So, let me give some context. There was this kid who was a little loony, let's just say that. And one time in gym class, we were in the locker rooms, and he slapped my ass.
Oh!
He slapped my ass. And I was like, why are you doing that? And then he would only do that to me, too.
Oh,
like,
so multiple times?
yes.
Oh my god.
Like, apparently people were into me in middle school. Like, I was
right,
the I was hot
right. Like
shit.
that's what we're clocking here.
Right.
So now it's both getting sexually assaulted.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna claim because that might be a little problematic.
Is it though? I mean, like, okay, well.
Moving on. So he would slap my ass, and then he would run around the gym, the like basketball court, pretending he was a motorcycle. He would be like, vroom, 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 vroom. I'm like, what is wrong, dude? And then one time in biology class, he threw a chair. Oh, no, he threw a textbook at someone.
Oh?
He threw a textbook at someone, and it was in my vicinity, and then I got called to the principal's office. Not principal's, admin's office.
The fuck?
And with him. Because apparently I was a witness, so I had to, like, report on him. And so I was telling the admin, like, this person has a history of
Not that.
being cuckoo crazy, and that, you know...
You said he slapped your ass?
I didn't say all that. But, yeah, I was just basically telling them that this kid was, like, kind of weird. And tell me why I got moved out of homeroom. I got put in another class.
Wow.
I'm like, what, in the justice system?
Wow, that's horrible. That would have made me mad.
Right.
Well, stitches get stitches.
I guess so. I guess
Right.
that's the lesson.
Right.
If you get your ass slapped, don't report it.
Right. Just like it, per.
Literally. Also, I had just randomly I remembered. So I had this teacher, a history teacher. Mm-hmm. I think everyone kind of clocked him as being gay because he was always wearing tight, skinny jeans that were like very colorful, like pink, purple, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I liked him because I was like, maybe subconsciously I was like, oh, we both queer, so let me just like be friendly with you. And so he was teaching about Louis XVI one time. Mm-hmm. And it was a picture of, if you guys look up Louis XVI, he's like this king with like wigs, makeup, powdered face, and heels.
Right, she's beat.
Right, she is beat. And so one time in class, girl, I was unhinged in this class. First of all, I was drawing clowns on this girl's book. Because I was obsessed with clowns. But anyways, I was like, King Louis is fabulous. And then the teacher was like, okay, Jimmy. Okay. Like, he had a monotone voice, and he was over me all the time. And one time he was talking about turnips. Turnips. And I was like, is it turnip or is it turn up?
Girl.
And he was like, does it matter? Like, he was really not fucking with me.
Right, he hated his life.
No, he really did. But I was like, why are you teaching if you hate kids so much?
Literally, but a lot of them don't have any other option.
Right.
But that's the thing. Sometimes you'll see, like, male teachers, and they're giving very gay, but then come to find out they have a whole wife and kids. And that happens so often with teachers.
Maybe they in the closet, too?
Right. Because I don't even know. I guess it's different now, but are there gay teachers? If any people are in school, have you ever had a gay teacher?
Like an out.
Right, an openly gay teacher. Or if you are a teacher, do you know?
A very open gay teacher.
Girl. You trying to take it there? I'm trying to be for real. Because I'm just wondering, like, has it changed? Because I think back when we were in school, that was a very taboo thing. Parents would get very mad if there was, like, a gay teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, has it changed?
It probably has a little bit.
But I don't know.
I think if I knew there was an outwardly... Actually, I don't know, because I wasn't really, like, thinking about all that back then.
Right.
But I think it would help a lot of kids if there were outwardly gay teachers. Because that could be a support system to know that it is okay to be...
Exactly, and you don't have to make it your whole focal point. Like, just, like, maybe having a pin or something on your class.
Or like a flag.
Having a gay flag. Like, right, like, things like that.
Right. But would you say that you were still innocent in middle school, or did you kind of lose that early on?
That's a great question. I would say in 6th grade, I was innocent. And then when 7th grade hit, no.
What happened? You got traumatized?
I was just doing a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't have been doing.
Like what?
Well, I tried an edible for the first time.
Ooh!
Right. So I was okay, so the popular kids would throw parties. First of all, don't ask me how. They were throwing parties in middle school.
Girl, these were like 13, 12-year-olds.
Girl, giving like euphoria, but like younger girl. Like, I don't even fucking know.
That's crazy.
And so they were throwing parties, and I went to one, only one, and someone had weed brownies. Someone's older brother gave them some weed or like made the brownies for them. I don't even fucking know. And I took one because I was like...
Did you know what it was?
I knew.
Oh.
I took
Okay,
it.
so she was getting wild.
Right! I was like, let me get a taste.
Right.
And so...
That's how you know she peaked.
Girl vibe. But so I took one, right? And I don't know if it wasn't cooked all the way or if I was just not ready. Like, the universe did not have it in my cards to be high that night, because that would have been a mess. Because then, like, my friend who, like, drove us would have had to, like, take me home. It would have been a mess. And so I took it. And literally, not even 20, 30 minutes later, I vomited it all up.
Maybe it was laced with something else.
You think it's possible.
Maybe.
Which is horrible, because that's literally a party of middle schoolers.
But also, it's an older sibling, so, like...
Right.
I see that from
You never know what their intentions are.
Exactly.
But, girl, I did not get high. I vomited, and I was like...
You got real low, actually.
Right. I was like, we're never doing that again.
And here we are.
Right, here we are.
For me, I feel like I was pretty innocent throughout all of middle school, despite getting harassed. But I was literally, like, scared to say curse words. There was one time in, like, I was standing in the lunch line, and someone was, like, trying to mess with me. And I wanted to say, I don't give a fuck. But I was like, I don't give a... And then they were making fun of me.
Aww.
They were like, I don't give a what. I don't give a what. And I was like, like, I don't give a...
Girl. Oh, no.
Like, I was,
So she was really innocent.
I was innocent, yeah.
Do you think other people at your school were also innocent, or was it just you? No, girl.
My middle school was wild.
What did they do? Like, why was it wild?
Well, people were smoking weed, like, in the backyard, back courtyard.
That's crazy. At school, it's crazy.
There were teen pregnancies.
Not in middle school. Yes. Oh my god, but there was a teen pregnancy at my school, too.
So clock that.
But it was 8th grade, so we were older.
Oh. And there was also this first of all, popularity started, like, becoming a thing in middle school.
Yeah.
There were
popularity for me was just middle school. Like, in high school, we didn't even care.
Yeah. And I was far from the popular group.
Ooh.
And all the white girls who were popular, they would, like, pretend to talk to me.
Would they go up to you and be like, we have a question? Would they ever say that?
Maybe. I don't know. But they would be, like, in class, and they would be like, why are you so quiet?
Oh, giving that vibe.
Yeah, and I'm like, girl, I know you're not talking to me to be friendly.
Would they ever be like, my friend has a crush on you? And then the girl would be like, ew.
I feel like that has happened to me, but I don't know if that's a projected memory from every other person that's talked about that.
Right.
But I do also remember there was a popular kid who was 14 in 7th grade.
Not that.
Literally.
Girl.
So that's how that's the population of my middle school.
Wow, that's bad. But in 6th grade, when my little group of Asian friends, they all left the school because they hated it so much. Really? And that made me sad because I thought that we were friends.
Ooh, where did they transferred?
They transferred. They all transferred. Literally none of them stayed. Only one of them stayed.
Damn.
And so I was like, fuck. I have to, like, do something because I have no friends now. And so I remember I went...
rebranded.
Literally, I went home that day and I went on YouTube and I found Lohanthony. And for those of you who don't know who Lohanthony is...
That's a throwback.
He's a little bit before y'all's time. But he was, like, the first gay on the internet. Like, the first gay kid on YouTube, really. Like, there was...
Because all the other ones, there's a lot, but they were all in the
closet, all
girl.
adults. Like, Tyler Oakley, Kingsley. Like, it's not the same vibe.
I mean, they weren't adults. They were, like, early, like, 20s.
That's an adult child. Lohanthony was, like, a kid.
No, I know.
He was, like, my same age, but a little bit older. And so, I remember seeing him, and I was like, oh my god. He's Hispanic like me. He's gay like me. Like... I could really steal his whole gig and just do it for my middle school and become popular. And guess what, Mimi? It worked. It fully fucking worked.
And you guys can tell where his personality's from.
Right. Fully, girl. It's fully from
a stolen personality.
Well, girl, no. Like, in middle school, yes, I claimed that. It was stolen fully. But, like... It worked. I was popular. All the girls, like, wanted me to sit at their side, like, a very GBF. Very, like, and I owned it, girl. Like, I was, like, getting invited to go do things because I was the GBF. And so...
Were you in your popular era then?
I was fully popular.
Okay, T.
Like,
but with the girls.
I was fully... I was popular with the girls and with the guys because they were dating the girls.
Not that.
I'm serious. And I was, like, everyone in my grade knew me. In 7th grade.
You were giving stereotype.
Fully, girl, fully. And I was happy to be it, girl. Because I was like, let me get the attention, mama. But there was a guy who asked me out.
Really?
Yes.
That's a gag.
In 8th grade. His name was Kobe. And he asked me out. And he was like one of the few only other gay people, even out gay people in my high school. Like in my grade at the time. And... he came up to me, with him and his friend, came up to me, and, like, me and my other friends, we were all leaving lunch. And he was like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was like, okay. And he was like, will you go out with me, or something like that? And I was like, I really could have handled it better.
Okay.
But I was like, ew, no.
Not ew. Oh my goodness.
Like, I was really feeling myself, girl.
Right, you were very much mean girl.
Right, literally.
Giving Regina George.
Literally. And so I said that, and then he was like, And then his friend, who was like some like big black girl, his friend was like, oh hell no. And so she was like, I'm gonna beat your ass. And so then I was like literally I started running away. Like me and my friends were literally running away from her. Like in the middle of the fucking little pods where the lockers are. Like we were literally running away trying not to get beat up by her. And I was like, girl, like it's really not even about you. Like why you give a fuck? And then Kobe in the back was like, beat his ass, bitch, like beat his ass. I'm like, girl. Period. I'm like, not me being a part of this debacle.
This is like, all of this is like reminding me of 8th grade, like the show.
I've never seen that.
I've also never seen it.
Okay.
But the concept is like adults playing their middle school counterparts.
Oh wait, do you mean Penis?
Oh, is it called Pen 15?
Pen 15, yeah, that one.
I thought it was called 8th grade. Oh, 8th grade is a movie.
8th grade is a movie.
It's a movie. I was talking about the show Pen 15.
Okay.
But we should do that. We should recreate our middle school life.
No.
That'd be iconic.
I really don't even know what to say. I don't remember enough of it to really fully recreate it.
Well, clearly you have some memories of it.
I have some memories, it's true.
We just need some good writers.
Right.
And that's why we support the writer strike.
Fully. And on that note,
as you guys can tell, middle school was a very defining time for who we are.
It was a very tumultuous time.
Very that. But we wouldn't be here without middle school.
That's
and
true.
And the experiences we had.
It is.
So.
We were legally required to go.
Literally. But if you guys enjoyed our stories, then make sure you guys subscribe, leave us a review, share with your friends, and let us know how your middle school experience was or is.
Not is.
Maybe we have some middle school listeners. If you are in middle school right now, maybe you shouldn't be listening.
Right, maybe.
But
we're not appropriate.
We can't control the internet, you know.
That's true.
But strong discretion for y'all.
I have to be honest, though. This is fine. Like I was listening to worse shit in middle school.
You right?
So
including Lil Anthony.
Right. So live your life, girl.
Right. And on that note,
just live your life. Hey.
Girl, bye. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.